Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Hey guys, today we go on a slow boat ride on a quiet river in London. It is not for fun or a picnic. We are going to a dark, deep place. Imagine soft waves hitting the boat, the sky orange from the setting sun, and one man sitting quiet. His name is Marlowe. He looks at the water and thinks. Then slowly, he starts to talk. His words take us far away to a hot river in Africa. There is fog, drums, shadows moving in the trees, and in the middle of all this, there is a man named Kurtz. So, before you get comfy, please like the video and subscribe, but only if you really like what I do here. And hey, write your city and the time where you are in the comments. I want to know where you are listening from. Now close your eyes if you want and listen to the story. The boat stays still on the Thames River, waiting for the tide to change. It is a warm, quiet night. 5 men are on the boat. One of them is Marlowe. He has sharp eyes and his face looks like old leather. He does not talk much, until now. He holds a pipe and starts to tell a story from long ago, when he went to Africa for work. At first, everyone listens politely. But soon, they know this story is not normal. He says he dreamed of going to the blank places on the map when he was a kid. Back then, many places in the world were still unknown. Now, he will tell a true story from one of those places. A story with no heroes, only questions. He tells how he got the job. His aunt helped him. He became captain of a steamboat for a European trading company in the Congo. He was to carry ivory and supplies on the river. Easy, right? Well, not really. The first strange thing was how fast the company hired him. No one asked many questions. He signed papers in a quiet office full of maps and silent men in suits. A doctor checked his head, not his health, and joked that they always go crazy out there. Marlowe laughed. But the doctor did not. Marlowe got on a French ship going to Africa. He stood on the deck, watching the sea, not knowing what was waiting. It felt far away, like stepping off real life into a dream. When he reached Africa, things got stranger. The place smelled hot and sweaty, with something burning. The sun was like an angry eye in the sky. People walked slowly. No one was in a hurry. Marlowe waited 10 days before going inland. 10 days in a dusty, cracked town under a hot sun. Everywhere he looked, things seemed broken. Broken machines, empty buildings, silent men with empty eyes. He saw Africans chained and working quietly. Some rested in the shade, very weak. But the white men in white suits drank on porches, talking about ivory like it was gold. One man, the company's chief accountant, looked perfect. White cuffs, neat hair, clean boots, even in this bad place. He was proud. He told Marlowe about a man named Kurtz, a top agent far up the river. A genius, he said, a man with big plans. Marlowe felt strange hearing that name. It stuck in his mind. After more waiting, Marlowe was told to go to Central Station where his boat was. He walked 200 miles through thick forest, hills, and hot sun. No roads. Just a narrow path and porters carrying bags. Along the way, things felt wrong. The trees were too quiet. The people too silent. The forest seemed to watch him, like it knew secrets he did not. When he reached the station, it got worse. His steamboat had sunk. Just sunk. No one knew how. No one seemed shocked. The station manager was a quiet man with cold eyes and a fake smile. He talked about Kurtz, too. "He's valuable," he said, like that explained everything. Marlowe had to wait again for repairs. He worked hard, hammering and sweating. While others drank and argued, he fixed the boat. He did not care about the company's plans. He just wanted to go upriver and meet Kurtz. Every talk came back to Kurtz. Some praised him. Others feared him. A few said he was mad. One man said, "He's very sick, maybe worse." But no one really knew. At night, Marlowe sat under stars, listening to the forest. It made strange sounds, not birds or animals. It whispered and laughed. He felt the forest had teeth. He wondered, is this a job? Or something else? A mission? A trap? Still, he waited. Slowly, the boat came together. Like building a puzzle while blindfolded, the river waited too, calm and wide, like it knew the story. Was not done, and Marlowe, even years later in London, still feels that weight in his voice. The boat is finally fixed, if you can call it fixed. It still coughs smoke and creaks like old knees, but it floats, and that is good enough for Marlowe. He starts the trip with a small group, a few white men from the company, some native crewmen, and the fireman who believes the boiler runs on magic. Marlowe does not argue. At this point, who can say he is wrong? The Congo River twists and turns like a big snake full of secrets. On both sides, tall green trees rise up to a pale sky. The heat feels like a wet blanket on the skin. Bugs buzz all the time, like tiny chainsaws. And the quiet between the trees. It hums deep inside your bones. Hours become days. The river moves, slow, pulling them deeper into a strange place. Sometimes at night, they hear drums far away, soft, steady, and a little worried. The jungle watches from both sides, quiet and still. It feels alive, like it breathes with them. Every stop on the river brings new questions. They see strange places where white men sit in folding chairs under broken umbrellas, waiting for something unknown. One man talks all the time about plans, but never does anything. Another tries to trade chickens for ivory. Marlowe listens and nods but keeps moving. He sees that every man on this trip is broken in some way. Sunburnt, bitten by bugs, nervous. They talk about Kurtz in whispers, like, he is both a prophet and a curse. Some say he has gone too far. Others say he is the only one doing real work. Marlowe keeps steering the boat forward, deeper into the foggy heart of the land. One morning, thick white fog covers the river like cotton. They can't see 10 feet ahead. The boat floats quietly. The engine is silent. Then they hear something. Soft, splashes, like someone walking in the water. The men grab rifles, eyes wide, but nothing comes. Just silence again. The jungle says nothing, and that feels worse. Then things go bad. Suddenly the boat is attacked. Small figures move in the trees. Throwing spears and arrows, chaos breaks out. The air fills with screams, gunshots, and the river hitting the boat. One of Marlowe's men is hurt. A kind, quiet man who drives the boat. The man bleeds at Marlowe's feet, eyes wide in shock. It is fast and terrible. Marlowe holds the wheel tight, jaw clenched. The attackers vanish as fast as they came. The boat floats again, carrying silence like heavy cargo. That night, no one speaks. They just sit and listen to the jungle breathe. Marlowe buries the helmsman and stares long at the grave. He feels angry. Not just at the attackers, but at the whole situation. This is not what they came for. This is not progress, trade, or exploration. It is madness, wrapped in heat, leaves, and fog. He thinks about Kurtz again. Could this man be worth all this trouble? Worth lives? Worth the silence, fear, and the strange feeling that nothing here makes sense? They keep going. They reach a small hut near the river. A white man runs out to meet them. His clothes are dirty and full of patches. His hair sticks out like he lost a fight with a bird's nest. He is too cheerful, a cheer that hides something deeper. He says he is a Russian. He talks fast, like he is scared of quiet. He tells Marlowe he has been with Kurtz for months. He worships Kurtz like a god. He talks and you listen, the Russian says with a big smile and tired eyes. Marlowe asks, "Is he sick?" The Russian's smile fades. "Yes, very." Then he adds, "But smart." The Russian says Kurtz does not want to leave. He is powerful here. The local people treat him like a king or a god. He gives speeches, writes notes, and sometimes disappears into the trees. The Russian laughs when he says this, but it is not funny. Marlowe listens and thinks, this is not a business trip anymore. It is something much darker. He is no longer just a visitor. He is swallowed by the place. The boat moves slowly now. The river is narrow, vines hang like ropes, and the sky is hidden. Everything feels close, thick, and heavy. Even time feels slow, like it melts. They are almost there. And Marlowe? He is not sure what he will find. A man? A ghost? Or something between? The river turns again. The jungle leans closer, and the story flows on, quietly, without a clear start or end. Just one long breath, held too long. The boat moves slowly up the river, like it is scared. The water gets narrow. The trees grow close together. The light gets darker, even if it is still daytime. Every splash from the paddle feels very loud. The quiet is not empty. It feels like many eyes are watching, but no one knows where. Marlowe leans over the side and looks at the dark water moving. His face is pale and wet with sweat, but his hands do not shake. He is very close now. Kurtz is near, somewhere in the trees, maybe already watching. This thought makes Marlowe feel cold. Inside, for one moment, he wishes the boat would turn back, but it does not. The Russian waves his arms toward the shore. "This is the place," he says. "Kurtz is just there." He sounds happy, like he is showing the way to a king's palace. Not. A broken hut in the jungle. The boat stops near an open space. No one is there. Only broken buildings, old fires, and a feeling like something has ended, or something bad is coming. Then they see him. Kurtz is carried on a stretcher by some thin, quiet local people. He is tall, but looks like he is made of bones. His head looks too big for his body. His eyes, those eyes, are wide, dark, and burning. He looks strong and almost dead at the same time. Marlowe can't stop looking at him. Kurtz speaks slowly, but his voice is strong. "I am glad," he says. "I knew someone would come." It does not make much sense, but Marlowe nods anyway. The others don't know what to do. Some want to take him quickly. Others are afraid. The local people watch without blinking. They do not look scared. They look quietly sad. Marlowe walks closer. He does not say much. He just listens. Kurtz starts to talk, really talk. He says strange things. About power. About the jungle. About ivory, darkness, and truth. He talks like a man who saw something. Too big to explain. Now he must carry it forever. At night, Marlowe hears Kurtz whispering in his hut. One word comes again and again. Horror. It is not loud, not a scream, just a whisper. Again and again. One morning, Marlowe wakes up and Kurtz is gone. He slipped out of the hut, into the forest. They look for him and find him not far away, crawling on the ground. He is thin and shaking, but his eyes are still wild. He does not want to leave. He shouts at the trees, at the sky, at no one. The Russian pulls Marlowe aside. He has power here. They follow him. He could stay forever. They worship him, you know. Marlowe whispers, that is not worship. That is fear. That night, the local people light fires. They sing songs. They beat drums. But when the boat finally leaves with Kurtz on it, no one stops them. It is like the jungle lets them go. Just this one time. The boat floats down the river again. Kurtz lies on a simple bed, breathing hard, hands shaking. Marlowe sits close, notebook on his lap. He pretends to write, but mostly just watches. Kurtz talks again. This time about the company, about his reports, about how he once wanted to help the people. But the jungle did not want help. It wanted him. Then, just before closing his eyes, he says it again. The horror, the horror. Marlowe does not ask what he means. He already knows. The boat keeps moving down the river, but it feels different now. The jungle, which was loud and full of mystery, becomes quiet. The thick green trees start to get fewer. The river water gets wide again. But Marlowe does not feel happy. He feels empty inside. It is like something heavy sits on his chest and will not move. Kurtz is dead. He died quietly. He still whispered the same terrible words. The horror. Just 2 words, but they feel heavier than anything Marlowe has heard before. There were no big speeches, no good lessons, no long goodbyes. Just a man who saw too much and could not carry it. The crew does not say much. They wrap Kurtz's body and keep working. There is no ceremony. No one cries. Marlowe just looks at the floor. He listens to the slow sound of the paddle wheel and the river. Now, the river flows quietly. As they go back to the city, Marlowe gets sick. A fever comes strong. He sweats a lot. He shakes even though it is hot. He starts to see shadows in the corners of his eyes. One time, he thinks he sees Kurtz again, standing by the boat, looking at him. But when he blinks, Kurtz is not there. Marlowe does not die. He gets better slowly. Each cough reminds him he is alive, and Kurtz is not. His dreams are strange. He sees trees growing from bones. He sees eyes in the river. And always he hears the voice. The horror. The horror. When Marlowe is strong enough to sit, he looks at the river and wonders, did Kurtz lose himself? Or did he find something that the others are too scared to see? Back in the city, everything looks clean and sharp. Men in suits talk about trade, progress, and papers. They smile too much. Marlowe finds it hard to listen. Their world feels too bright, too fake, too small after what he saw. The company wants to know about Kurtz. They ask polite questions. Marlowe gives polite answers. He tells them what they want to hear, that Kurtz was brave, smart, and a hero. He does not say anything about the heads on sticks. He does not talk about the madness, the quiet, or the whispering trees. One man from the company nods and says, "We knew he would be useful out there." Marlowe says nothing. Later, Marlowe meets Kurtz's Intended, a woman who was going to marry Kurtz. Her house is dark, with heavy curtains and old furniture. She still wears black clothes. She talks about Kurtz like he is just away on a Bowie trip, like he will come back soon. I know he died thinking of me, she says, her voice shaking. He loved me until the end, didn't he? Marlowe wants to be honest. He wants to tell her what Kurtz really said, the last whisper. But he cannot. So he lies. Yes, he says. His last word was your name. She covers her face and cries. Marlowe watches quietly. He feels something break inside him. Not because of the lie, because the truth was too much, too raw, too dark. He leaves the house and walks in the city. Horses walk on the stone streets. Children laugh. Life goes on, shiny and clean. But Marlowe is different now. He carries something invisible, something that will never leave him. He thinks of the river, the jungle, and the man who became like a ghost long before he died. And still, he hears that voice. The horror. The horror of what? The jungle? Men? Himself? Maybe all of it. Though, city streets do not feel right to Marlowe anymore. Everything is too clean and too neat. People laugh very loud, walk very fast, and believe in easy little stories. Marlowe walks among them like a ghost. His feet are on the ground, but his mind is far away in the jungle. He thinks about Kurtz a lot, not the man on the stretcher, but the voice, the wild eyes, and the strange power. He remembers how the forest went quiet when Kurtz spoke. The air around him felt heavy. Marlowe wonders if Kurtz was crazy, or if the trees knew something older. People keep asking questions. What was he like, they say? Was he really clever? Was he brave? Marlowe always nods and smiles. He says what they want to hear. The real truth is not here. It would scare them. At night, Marlowe sits in dark rooms and thinks. Sometimes he hears drums far away, but he knows they are not real. Sometimes he smells fire and wet earth, even in the city. He does not talk about these things. He lets the memories flow through him like smoke. Now he knows the jungle is not just a place. It is like a mirror. It shows you who you really are when no one watches. And what it showed Kurtz was not good. But the worst thing is not what Kurtz became. It is how easy it was. At first, Kurtz was a man with dreams and ideas. Then he carved words in ivory and whispered to ghosts. Power changed him, but not just power. The quiet changed him too. No rules, no other voices, no one to say, stop. In that empty place, he found his true self. And he hated what he saw. That is why he whispered, the horror. He was not warning others. He was saying what he saw inside himself. Marlowe wonders what he would see if he looked into that same dark place. Sometimes he is scared he already knows. One day, he meets young men who want to go to Africa. It will be an adventure, they say. We will help the people there. We will make a difference. Marlowe smiles, kind, tired, and a little sad. Be careful, he says. Not everything you find will be good. They laugh and nod. They think he is just scared. Marlowe lets them. Later, he walks by the river in the city. Not the jungle river, but this river is calm and slow. He watches it move and wonders how deep it is. He remembers the jungle river that took them forward, like a snake going through the world. He remembers the quiet, the heat, the far drums. And he remembers Kurtz, tall, thin, with big eyes and a voice too big for his weak body. The horror, the horror. Marlowe breathes in the cool city air and tries to forget the feeling. But it never really goes away. He stands by the river and watches the sky get gray. Behind him, the city keeps moving. But ahead, the water is wide and dark, always waiting. He turns and walks home. Not because he wants to forget, because he knows now. Some stories never end. Now, friend, let's slow down. Close your eyes if you want. Take a deep breath in and out. The story is done, but the feeling might stay a little longer. That is okay. Marlowe's journey was not just to find Kurtz. It was to find something inside, a truth, a fear, a question with no easy answer. Maybe you felt it too, floating on the dark river, hearing the whispers in the trees. Maybe it made you think about something in your own heart. That is what stories do. They don't always give peace, but they give company. Now, rest. Let quiet come around you like soft leaves. Let your thoughts flow like the river, slow and calm. If the world feels too loud tomorrow, remember this calm. Remember that even in dark stories, there is light in telling them. You are safe now. You came back just like Marlowe, just like the boat on the river. Breathe slow. Let your body relax. Let your mind rest. Sleep well, dream softly, and thank you for listening.